Hey, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to learn about single sign on. My name is Sushant Satish, and I'm your trainer for this AZ-303 certification course. So, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Single sign on or SSO adds security and convenience when users sign into applications in Azure Active Directory. There are two methods you can choose when selecting a single sign on. The first one is with single sign on. With this method, users sign in once with one account to access domain joined devices, company resources, software as a service applications, and web applications. After signing in, the user can launch applications from Office 365 portal or Azure AD My Apps Access Panel. Administrators can centralize user account management and automatically add or remove user access to applications based on group membership. Another method is without single sign on. With this method, users must remember application specific passwords and sign in to each application. IT staff need to create and update user accounts for each application such as Office 365, Box, and Salesforce. And users need to remember their passwords plus spend the time to sign into each application. So, how do you choose a single sign on method? There are several ways to configure an application for single sign on. Choosing a single sign on method depends on how the application is configured for authentication. These cloud applications can use OpenID Connect, OAuth, SAML, password based, linked, or disabled methods for single sign on. This flowchart helps you decide which single sign on method is best for your situation. So, when to use OpenID Connect and OAuth? You can use OpenID Connect and OAuth when developing a new application. This protocol simplifies application configuration, has easy to use SDKs, and enables your application to use MS Graph. When to use SAML? You can choose SAML whenever possible for existing applications that do not use OpenID Connect or OAuth. SAML works for applications that authenticate using one of the SAML protocols. And when to use password based? You can choose password based when the application authenticates with username and password. Password based single sign on enables secure application password storage and replay using web browser extension or mobile app. This method uses existing sign in process provided by the application but enables an administrator to manage the passwords. So, when can you choose the linked method? You can choose linked sign in when the application is configured for single sign on in other identity provider service. So, when can you choose disabled? You can choose disabled single sign on when the app isn't ready to be configured for single sign on. This mode is the default when you create the application. We didn't talk about the integrated Windows authentication IWA and header based. So, when can you choose IWA? You can choose integrated Windows authentication sign-in for applications that use integrated Windows authentication or claims-aware applications. For IWA, the application proxy connectors use Kerberos constraint delegation to authenticate users to the application. And the last one is header-based. You can use header-based single sign-on when the application uses headers for authentication. Header-based single sign-on requires ping access for Azure AD. An application proxy uses Azure AD to authenticate the user and then passes traffic through the connector. So let me show you how you can verify your seamless single sign-on is enabled in your Azure AD Connect. I'm on my Azure portal. Go back to your Azure AD. Under Manage, go to Azure AD Connect. Under User Sign-in, you can see that seamless single sign-on is disabled, pass-through authentication is disabled, and federation is disabled as well. So if I want to use seamless single sign-on, I have to go to your on-premises Azure AD Connect and turn on that. Or I can use the pass-through authentication and enable that as well. As soon as it is enabled, you will see the status change from disabled to enabled, And you can see the number of domains which is connected or the number of agents which you can use for pass-through authentication as well. That concludes this episode. In the next episode, we're going to look into Azure AD Connect Health. I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.